everyone, welcome to this overview recording of the new and exciting changes that are expected in the Navigate system in winter 2021. These changes will consist of visual and feature changes on the staff side of the platform, as well as visual changes on the student side of the scheduler. Let us begin today by looking at the automatic changes that will be made to the Navigate environment in January 2021. As we look at Navigate today, when we log in, we notice the blue accent color across the top. It's important to note that the blue accent color signifies that we're actually in the MUN training environment and not the MUN production environment. So any data that you see in here is actually mass data. When the changes are made to the live production environment, we'll revert back to our standard MUN colors. Let's begin today by looking at the changes that are in the header section of Navigate. So let's begin with the icons across the top. We have the appointment queue, followed by on-read messages, and the minimize dialog box. One of the more notable changes to this feature is the quick search functionality was previously squat up towards the right-hand side of the screen. It has been relocated to the middle of the header to make accessibility easier. So when you want to do a quick search for a student, you just pop the student number in here and away they go. Next, we have terms. There has been no change to the drop-down functionality in terms. We have our help icon has been made larger. And one of the more notable changes also would be, you'll notice here the DB in the corner. The DB is actually tied to the test profile that I'm using. If this was a profile that had a photo attached to it, the photo would appear here. In absence of a photo, the initials of the individual will be displayed here. This is important to note. We'll revisit this after as well because it will come up again when we look at the student scheduler or when students schedule appointments. One of the other notable changes within Navigate is the side menu bar over here to our left. It is now able to be expanded and contracted. The test profile that I'm using here has quite a few icons in it. Your access may or may not have the same type of icons. You may have less, you may have more. It all depends on the type of access that you have in Navigate. So let's look at some of the icons as they have slightly changed, not to any huge degree, but there have been some changes to the icons. So we have home, conversations, calendar, cases, campaigns, reminders, advanced searches, lists and searches, analysis, and then we just have the contraction bar for the sidebar. One of the other changes I'll explain after as well, as I'm not able to actually demonstrate it clearly in this section, is previously when we made a change to anything in Navigate or export a report, you get a yellow bar going across the top of the screen. That yellow bar has actually been replaced by a small square notice box that will appear in the lower right-hand side of the corner. When we do an exercise a little later, you'll have a clear demonstration of what that notice box will look at. So one of the more exciting changes that is actually coming to Navigate in 2021 is the ability for personal availability links. Now, it's important for me to note too that personal availability links is not going to be an automatic change. It's a change that Memorial can make when Memorial is ready. It's an exciting change to have because it will make having students book appointments with you a very easy process. So let's take a look at the personal availability links now. It's important to note that the personal availability links are availability driven. So let's take a look at our first advisor here. Our advisor has set up a personal availability link, and let's look how he or she did that. So we have Monday through Friday, they're offering their availability. We have 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. They're offering this availability forever. How they added it to their personal availability link was just checking this little checkbox right here. Next, we'll have appointments. They have to fill in the care unit, their location, and the service that they're offering. This advisor that we are demonstrating with is just using one service. We'll look at a separate advisor later that offers additional services so you can see how it looks for the student. So once we have all of our information entered, we can click on Save. This is the little yellow box I was telling you about a couple moments ago. This is now the new notice box. It will no longer go across the screen. It'll just be down in the lower right-hand corner. So we've had a student who wants to book an appointment. So once you have your availability link, you can provide an email to a student, you can post it on a web page, you can provide it in the signature block, however you want to have the student provide the information. So it is important to note that only students who are in the Navigate platform will be able to use the personal availability link. So if we have prospective students or students who are no longer with Memorial, who are not in the Navigate system, they will not be able to use the personal availability link. So it's very important to make that note. I'll do a separate video on how detailed the personal availability links can get and how different functionality works with those. But for today's purpose, we're just going to look at two situations: a student booking an appointment for an advisor who offers one service, and a student booking an appointment with an advisor who offers availability links for multiple services. So right now, let's just look at the one service availability, and let's see how that opens. So let's take a quick look here. So I'm a student, I get the link, I click on the link, and this information comes pre-populated for me for the student. So we know it's an advising care unit, we know that it's this one service, so it's competitive program admission, and then they have the date picker. All I have to do is click on find available times. So they can see the available times for that individual whose availability link that they clicked on. So they can see all their availability. All they have to do is pick a time. You'll remember a few moments ago I had said that the information that's up in the upper right hand corner, the DB, would play a part again in the student scheduler. If you had a photo, this is where that would show up. Because you don't have a photo, it would have initials. So, for example, a student's going to pick a time to meet with an advisor. They're going to pick a time. If they have any comments they want to add, they can add them. Memorial does not use text messaging, so this is only in our training environment. We'll pretend that's not here. I have nothing I want to say to the advisor in advance of my appointment, and I'm going to click on schedule. That's it. That is everything the student has to do. So in our next example, we're going to look at an advisor. We've changed roles here. You notice up here in the corner I have a different set of initials. So this advisor is going to offer personal availability links as well, but he, she, or they are going to offer availability for multiple services. So let's take a look at what that would look like. So we're going to take a look at the edit just to see how it was set up. So this advisor is Monday through Friday again, 8 a.m. to 5. They're setting up this availability forever. It's an appointment. They have it added to their availability link. Again, that's important to note. They've selected their care unit, their location, and their multiple services. If they had a WebEx link, they'd add it here. If not, they could add a phone number, but not both. I will note that we have asked EAB for that functionality. We are waiting to hear back on it. If I had any additional information I wanted to let the student know before the appointment, to bring something, to include a phone number, anything, I could provide it in this section right here. I'm only meeting with one student, so I can click on save. I'm ready. Again, here's my notice box in the lower right-hand corner. Let's take a look and see what a student sees when he, she, or they click on availability link for an advisor with a personal availability link for multiple services. Okay, so we've had a student who wants to book an appointment with an advisor who offers multiple services and provides it through a personal availability link. So when the student clicks on the personal availability link, this screen loads for them. The only information that's pre-populated is the care unit. The services will not be pre-populated because you offer more than one. So if you offer more than one, then the student can click on either one of these, not both, but one or the other, and then they can click on find available times. So once the student finds an available time that he, she, or they are comfortable with, all they have to do is just select the time, enter any additional information that they would like the advisor to know, and click on schedule. Again, I'm going to go through a little more detail about the personal availability links and the ins and outs of it in a separate video. So I won't go through any more about personal availability links today. This is where I'll end that section. The next section we're actually going to talk about is the student scheduler side and what the student sees. Okay, so I've changed roles here now. I'm actually in my own role here in Navigate now. So you'll notice I have quite a few more icons than probably the average user, and I can promise you students do not normally have all these icons. So I am going to be a student. I'm in the platform, and I'm going to ask for assistance. So all the student has to do is click on Get Assistance. They're going to be asked a couple of questions, not a lot of questions. So the first question I'm going to be asked is, what type of appointment would you like to schedule? Today, I want an advising appointment. I want to talk to someone about research abroad. And then I can pick a date, or I can just click on Find Available Appointments. I can see I have one advisor who offers that availability. I can click a time to meet with that advisor. Or I can go back, I can search by a particular staff member's name, by a location, or by a course. If I'm not happy with any of my changes, with any of my selections, all I have to do is hit start over. And I'm going to try to find a situation where we have multiple advisors, where a student would have to choose from an advisor. And let's just take a quick look here as well, see what I can. So I have found an advising appointment where it will show you how a student can see multiple advisors. I won't go too far in the weeds, but if we have a situation where we have advisors who only meet with students who are assigned to them, a student who is not assigned to you cannot book an appointment with you through this way. They will not be able to see you, is what I'm trying to say. They'll only see the advisors they can meet with. So you wouldn't have to worry about that. If I find an advisor that I want to meet with who's open to meeting with any student, or it's in my assigned staff, I can click on it, the appointment, and I book it just like the other two examples we looked at. So again, it'll just tell me what I'm going in for, the date and time, the location, and any comments I want to add, and then all I have to do is hit schedule as a student. The other thing we'll as well in the functionality here is what a student sees if there's like a drop-in, or if they want to request an appointment, or they want to see who their success team is. So if they click on Meet My Success Team and they have an assigned advisor, their assigned advisor information will show up in this section. They'll see any appointments that they've had. They can see any past appointments that they've had. That's a great little functionality as well. So if I go back to Get Assistance, I can look and see what drop-in times may be available for, I don't know, just for academic advising. And it'll tell me if I try to book an appointment that I have to pick a service. I can't book a service without picking, I can't book an appointment without picking a service. So you could see any available times that were there. If I don't see anything that meets my time, I can schedule an appointment. If you are an office that offers requesting appointments, it would show up here as well. That is all I have to actually demonstrate for you today on the new changes that are coming to Navigate in 2021. I'm very excited about the personal availability links. I hope it'll be a great advantage to many of you and great advantage to the students as well. We aim to try to make things as streamlined as possible. It had actually been told that previously one time they believed 13 steps it took for a student to book an appointment. And as you can see here today, that certainly cuts down on the 13 steps. We aim to try to make things as easy for students as possible to access resources. And if anybody has any questions at any time or suggestions, I'm certainly open to whatever you want to discuss. You can contact me at navigateadmin@mun.ca. Thanks very much and have a great day.